So remember that big giant announcement that the Trump administration had planned that they even talked about during the meeting with Carney? So Trump comes out with this big announcement today that they made this amazing deal, this amazing trade deal with the UK. It's not even finalized. Like there's nothing confirmed, nothing in writing, nothing like, and it's not even a trade deal. Basically, the tariffs that Trump put on the UK on their steel and automobiles, he's willing to drop them to a lower amount now if the UK is willing to buy US products. Like he wants them to buy their produce and like the UK hasn't like signed off on anything, and this is just all like, if the UK does this, we'll make the tariffs less. How is that a fucking trade deal? All you're doing is saying that you set fire to a house and now you're willing to put out some of the fire for them. Like, this is not some big, amazing trade deal. And frankly, I don't even know what is going through the mind of the Prime Minister of the UK. Why are you bowing down and allowing this garbage? You are not getting anything out of it other than kissing Trump's butt to give you less tariffs than everybody else. And then you got to go buy their produce and their products that you didn't buy before. Like, this is not some amazing fucking trade deal. It sounds like extortion at this point. Trump is basically extorting countries and trying to force them to buy more US products. But it doesn't work that way. The United States has a higher population. You guys are always going to end up buying more things from other countries because you have a higher population. Like, but the worst part is, like, that wasn't the worst part of the entire, like, press conference. Like, it got worse from there. Okay? Yeah, I know. Apparently Mattel, the toy company, talked to Donald Trump and basically said, like, you can't have tariffs on China and because our products, Mattel's a US company, but they're obviously getting their products made overseas. And they told Trump, like, you can't have these tariffs because otherwise we're going to have to take our business elsewhere. Like, they can't remain in the United States and make any money. And he's like, well, I don't know where this country Mattel gets off, and he thinks that Mattel is going to put tariffs back on them. Donald, Mattel is a fucking toy company out of California. It is one of your own people. It's one of your own companies. And you're talking like you think it's a country. Like, that's the thing. Like, these companies can't even come to Donald Trump and say, hey, you're screwing us over. We can't afford to stay as a company in the United States if you're going to put all these tariffs on us when we import things that we get made in another country. Because he's not smart enough to understand what he's doing is wrong. Like, he's going to bankrupt all of these American companies because nobody can build factories and start making all of these products overnight. They're not set up for it. Like, they don't have the skilled workers. They don't have the factories. It would take billions of dollars and years for them to bring back manufacturing that, frankly, some places didn't even have to begin with. Like, there are just things that have just never been made in the United States because they've never been made in the United States. And even if you brought back even, say, assembly plants to the United States, you still have to get the parts from elsewhere. You still have to get the materials from elsewhere. Like, you cannot make every single product in the United States because you don't have everything to make all of the products. And he doesn't seem to understand this. God. And if that wasn't enough, if that flub wasn't enough, there's more. Then somebody pointed out the fact that at this point, because of the Chinese tariffs and the fact that nobody can afford to buy anything from China right now, the ports are pretty much empty. There's barely any ships coming in with product. Like, there's going to be a massive supply problem in the United States. And Donald's response to this, which, by the way, they also mentioned about the fact that the workers on the docks are concerned, that they're not going to have any jobs if supplies don't start coming in, if ships don't start coming in. And Donald's response to that, well, we're not buying a ton of stuff means we're not getting ripped off. Donald, if you don't have supplies coming in, nobody's going to have anything. You are going to have empty shelves everywhere. You are going to have a supply problem. People are going to start lacking the most basic of items if you don't have things coming in. And while you, Mr. Rich Man, can tell everybody that it's not a big deal, they just get a few less dolls at Christmas, it's bigger than that, okay? You are going to put businesses out of business. People are going to not be able to buy anything soon other than what comes from the United States because you're screwing up the supply lines. Not to mention the fact that he saying that and ignoring the fact that the reporter mentioned people's jobs is frankly disturbing. He tries to make it like he's all about the American worker, but those workers, that's their livelihood. If the ships aren't coming in, they're going to get laid off. They will not have a job. And again, it didn't stop there. It still keeps getting better. They decided to nominate a new Surgeon General who's not a friggin' licensed doctor. Nope, she's a wellness influencer. Yeah, so Dr. Casey Means, okay, that's her name, apparently does not have a medical license because she dropped out of medical school. And she's been an influencer. She's anti-vax. And the reason that Donald Trump nominated her is because good old Robert F. Kennedy Jr. there said she was good. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. I feel bad for the people of the United States. Oh, and not that this didn't happen. That was just sort of the end of the bad stuff today. But I wanted to talk about something that was brought up the other day too. Donald Trump wants to cancel Veterans Day. Instead, he wants to hold two different days celebrating World War I and World War II. Their victories, the United States victories in both those wars. But he feels that people are getting too many days off. So he wants to get rid of Veterans Day and just have those 2 days that celebrate the two wars. So basically, to the rest of the people that served in any other war that's a U.S. veteran, he's saying, fuck you. We're not going to celebrate you because, he doesn't think you won anything, And who is he celebrating? Most of the people involved in World War I and II are gone. They're passed on. There might be one or two, but that's a long friggin' time ago. There are not a lot of people left that are veterans from those wars. So who is he celebrating? Because all of the current veterans that are alive that deserve respect and a day to be, celebrated and shown respect and appreciation, they weren't in World War I and II. So why would you get rid of a day that celebrates all U.S. veterans and replace it with 2 days that celebrate U.S. victories instead? Not the people that were involved in them, but just the victories. And this is going to be on top of the giant, millions, 3-figure million dollar parade that he wants to have, which, by the way, coincides with his birthday. So he wants a big, giant military parade. Sound familiar? Sound a little dictator-ish? Yeah, that's what I thought. So he wants to have a giant military parade while taking away Veterans Day, while giving the big finger to all of the veterans out there. I was ignoring a lot of what Trump was doing during the Canadian election because there's just too much stuff going on in the Canadian election. But it's insane. It's insanity. And every time I read something about him, it's seriously? Seriously? So, yeah, that's just from the last couple of days.